Good morning, everyone. Welcome to rvatech's Capability Coffee. I'm excited to have a new guest with us today, Impact Makers. They're here to share a little bit about how they've been navigating the last year or so since the pandemic, tell us a little bit about their capabilities. And if you don't know much about Impact Makers, they have a very unique, differentiating business model and business structure. So I think they're going to talk a little bit about their mission and how they're a little bit different from some other consultancies you may have used or heard about in the past.
From an internal perspective, though, at Impact Makers, we had to sort of step back and decide what we were going to focus on, right? So our business, like everyone's, kind of pulled back a little bit, so we had to get serious about exactly what our core capabilities were going to be going forward, and we streamlined the company.
So our mission with our community partners has become even more vital during COVID, and so we've really been able to step up in this time over the past year and continue to engage with these underserved members of the Richmond community.
Impact Makers is created as a benefit corporation, or in the vernacular, a B-Corp. What our founder did, though, was in 2015, he gifted the company to two large community partners. So as we do better, those entities will hopefully benefit. This is a very unique model in which our company is really devoted towards helping our community grow as we grow.
I think one of the great things about Impact Makers is our community service and community efforts are really one that are part of the DNA of the organization rather than just giving lip service to that. So really proud to announce that we're at a little over $3.7 million in both community services and pro bono services.
Impact Makers and our mission really feeds into the way that we also do business and the way that everyone on staff is motivated in the knowledge that every dollar we make for Impact Makers trickles back into the community. And I would say that impacts not just the bottom line, but also in the types of projects that we pursue and the richness of experience that we are able to achieve within our team dynamics and on our client sites, and how we are just really motivated to becoming trusted advisors to deliver that value.
Caring deeply, having integrity in the work that we do is extremely important to all of the engagements that we have.
Some of the main areas of expertise that we are continually looking for are data engineers, data architects, cybersecurity professionals, data governance professionals, as well as business analysts.
So we work with our clients to figure out where technology can have an impact in their organization, and that impact word is not an accident here. And then work with them to actually do the implementations, right? So we're not just doing business consulting, we're not just doing coding, we're doing both, right? So figure out the strategy and then implement the solution on their behalf. So we're very data focused these days, all things data architecture and data warehousing and data governance solutions and so forth. But we're an advanced AWS partner, we do cloud solutions, we're a Snowflake partner.
We have been in the public sector for a long time, helping our state and local government partners to figure out problems from, as Tom has indicated, from data down to project management to helping with decision making at a very high level. The public sector is an extremely important partner to us. We feel like we can bring new innovation to an old space. We also provide data analytics from a healthcare standpoint. That is a relatively new frontier for healthcare. Doctors and nurses are utilizing systems that generate terabytes of data, and they don't know what to do with it.
It's really about sort of understanding the data that they have, the goals that they have, and then building solutions around that. Turns out data governance ends up being a big part of that, right? So that sort of ongoing maintenance and inventory of data assets and making them accessible for various business functions in your organization is critical, right? So it's really sort of the rocket fuel for data democratization, which is making data more accessible and usable, leverageable, if you will.
I haven't heard yet that I think has been really important in some very recent experience, which is empowerment, because I think a lot of times, and what Tom had said about tribal knowledge, there's definitely a culture sometimes of privacy, secrecy, not wanting that tribal knowledge to go into something, a powerful data tool that can then, potentially get the answer to the question that maybe only Sally knew prior to that. So I think something that has been really cool to see though in real use cases where that culture of, oh, this is what I know, this is what that person knows, there's all these silos, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, this can validate things that we've been experiencing and wanting to have changed for years, but all we had were our anecdotal, we wish this was different, we wish that was different. Now it's like the data-driven insights can tell, executives can get that message to leadership so that it has just that power of the data. And so I think in real life, while sometimes it starts out a little bit intimidating and there's some organizational change management components that have to happen, the end result, I think, is normally an environment of surprise and empowerment and just feeling like, oh, okay, this is, something that's actually helping us. It's not here to hurt or replace, it's here to empower and lift up. RPA being, something I think, as Kim said, not a common practice yet in the public sector space. A big part of it, and I think something that Impact Makers is looking to do, is also the strategy component, and understanding, what makes a process a good candidate for RPA and for putting robots, at which exact part of the process, and helping the client map that out is definitely a big part of it as well, that fits more into some advisory spaces as well.
RPA also is not meant to replace people. I think that is the fear in government, that people will lose their jobs. Well, frankly, any organization. It is really to free people from doing tasks, mundane, silly tasks, and free people to do greater value work. This is the promise of RPA, and we've talked about this with our clients, as Brooke has indicated. In specific instances or use cases, it can be extremely powerful and liberating for the organization to deploy a bot and free its people to do something else.
We are truly a partner for our clients, not just an outsourced service. So when we come in, we're looking not only at what our capabilities are, but looking at the business model and the opportunity there.
We are a company that truly partners with our clients. So when, on my most recent engagement and on that client site, I was able to join an already semi-established team that has continued to grow. And with that, the reputation grows. So we are able to, with a lot more confidence, go in and say, this looks like something that could be interesting. Do you have the trust in us to explore this? And the answer, for probably the past year has always been yes.
I think that's a really big piece of the puzzle. There is trust, there is responsibility in being an employee here. I think the biggest capability at Impact Makers, and the thing that brings people to our front door and keeps them coming back, is that we're a people-centric organization.
Impact Makers' greatest capability is being a trusted advisor for all of our clients. Whenever we enter in an engagement, we act as if we are the client in their best interest.
Impact Makers' biggest capability is our genuine commitment to our clients' success.
Impact Makers' greatest capability is the way that we are able to empower our clients and each other.